you as an inspiration for their games, including Caitlin Clark, who's just absolutely a phenomenon in college, came into the WNBA with a whole lot of hype, lived up to it, and now she is ready to take the next step. What's that next step like for her?
Next steps, gosh, in this generation, right? You have, I think, just so many more challenges of how to handle yourself as an adult, right? You go through that whirlwind of being a senior in college, transitioning into the W, and then the next step is how to become just an even better leader.
Mm-hmm.
And so much of leadership, I think, is listening and learning. And hopefully, the more she can get connected to vets in the league and just different people and coaches and anyone that she can glean wisdom from of how to just continue to learn how to be as a connected and inspiring leader as she can be. And a lot of that is walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So she's already on her way. But, continuing to have fun, continuing to anticipate how people are going to try to stop her and being prepared as she can be for next season.
One of our analysts on.
Hmm. So there you have it right there. Maya Moore, Caitlin Clark looks up to Maya Moore. 100%. This is Caitlin Clark's favorite player right here. We've seen it. We've seen the little girl come out of Caitlin Clark every time she speaks about Maya Moore. We saw the first time she met her when Maya Moore was at one of her games. We've seen her interact with Maya Moore during the WNBA season last year multiple times. And we've seen Maya Moore also support Caitlin Clark to the highest level and talks very highly of Maya Moore. Now, there are a lot of talks on Twitter and social media because this clip has surfaced and came out, and they don't like Maya Moore's response. Look, Caitlin Clark is phenomenal. I think she's the best in the league. I love Caitlin Clark, right? She still has a lot to work on. That doesn't mean she's not effective. That doesn't mean she's not good. That doesn't mean she's not great. That doesn't mean she's still not CC22. But when a veteran player like Maya Moore gets asked a question, like she was asked, what do you think's next? Continue to be you. Continue to be fun. Continue to learn how these girls are going to treat you in this league. It's not all fun. It's not all. These girls in the league are here to attack you. So you have to know that. Her mind has to get sharper. Which, I'm not saying Caitlin Clark doesn't know these things. Caitlin Clark is very aware. That's why I'm excited for year 2. Because she's put on the, yeah, come try to bump me now. She's been in the lab with Keith Porter and their trainers. I'm sure she's having a nutritionist. I'm sure she's eating very well. And I'm sure she's watching film. So when Maya Moore speaks on just learning how, how these girls are going to stop you and try to stop you and try to get you out of character and get under your skin, there's going to be a lot of that. This is the pros. This is the pros. And Caitlin Clark mentioned it earlier in the Eli Manning show. It was more difficult to transfer over to the W than college. For plenty of reasons. Girls are developed. You're not just playing with your same age within a range of a year or two. Fluctuate, right? Either way. You're playing with some of these girls. Diana was 42? Diana, you playing with grown-ass women who have fully developed maturely, muscle-wise, their physicality, their the speed of the game as a pro. So it takes, it takes a little bit of that learning experience, I guess, but not a learning experience as in the game of basketball. The game of basketball, yeah, there's not much more that Caitlin Clark can do on a basketball court. There's not. There's really not. There's not as much. There's nothing else. Can she improve on the things that she already does? Yeah, everybody can. Which she will. Which I know she will. That's why I'm so excited, once again, for year 2. But she still has small things that she could get better at. And once she develops into those, and bro, she's literally going to be unstoppable. Unstoppable. Now, let's break it down a little more, right? The question was probably off guard. And like I said, I'm really bringing this out to tell you guys on social media, like, not every response from everybody's gonna be like Caitlin Clark this, Caitlin Clark's the best, Caitlin Clark is this. I'm not saying she doesn't want the best for Caitlin, but she gave an honest answer.
Including Caitlin Clark, who's just absolutely. And now she.
Let's
next
skip through.
steps, gosh, in this generation, right? You have, I think, just so many more challenges of how to handle yourself as an adult, right? You go through that whirlwind of being a senior in college, transitioning into the W, and then the next step is how to become just an even better leader. And so much of leadership, I think, is listening and learning. And hopefully, the more she can get connected to vets in the league and just different people and coaches and anyone that she can glean wisdom from of how to just continue to learn how to be as a connected and inspiring leader as she can be. And a lot of that is walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So she's already.
And the fact that you're bringing that to a point, Maya, is this. She's getting the veterans. It's almost like you guys should have never did this. You should have never gave Caitlin Clark the veterans. You should have never gave her a veteran coach. You should never have gave her this facility, because what do you think is going to happen? You think she's going to get worse? Do you honestly think she's going to get worse going through a full training camp with Sydney Colson, Stephanie White, Keith Porter, DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, these girls who have been around multiple different coaches, multiple different organizations, multiple different teammates, and played with a lot of these girls? And how inspiring do you think it's going to be when Sydney Colson is telling, hey, this is how what Asia and them, this is what they going to do, woo, woo, this is how they going to try to get you off game. Hey, this is how, woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. And you know what? There was a commenter, I forgot who it was. They got mad because I wasn't calling these ladies. I said girls. Look, females, women, girls, I give all respect when I'm speaking on them. I just want you guys to understand that, right? Back to the topic. Maya Moore. And she's right. Caitlin Clark, you still have, like I said, the learning process. It's a learning process. How to be a leader. Caitlin Clark, we're looking at you to be the leader. We understand how good you are. We know you're original, traditional, generational, all of the above. We understand all of that. But we want you to be that, like, we want you to mold into a floor general, like, all around, which she is. She's just very young still. You gotta understand, we're asking for a lot out of a young 22-year-old, 23, however Caitlin Clark is. I think she just turned 23 this past year, right? Something like that. So we're looking for her to be a leader on a championship team, to win every game, to lead an offense. Like I said, this is why I don't compare her to any other rookies. She's the point guard. She's already the floor general. She's already running a full professional offense with the worst team in the league. Just imagine a 24, 25-year-old Caitlin Clark who's already developed in a league at a young age, already led in so many different things and broke so many different records, been bumped around, been pushed around, not giving the right foul calls, getting dirty closeouts, hand checking all over, just multiple different things. And she was still very successful. Still very successful. You're giving her veterans. You're giving her more knowledge. You're giving her coaching, better schemes. You're giving her more coaching, better plays, just better outlook. I don't even want to get into the coaching situation. You're giving her more options for pick and rolls. Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner. You're giving her rim runners all over the floor. Cunningham, DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard. So we saw the Caitlin Clark with none of this that you're speaking on. There wasn't really any leaders. Nobody really took Caitlin Clark under her belt. The coach was a rookie. Her center, second-year player. Her starting four guard, second-year player or third-year player. I think second-year player. Now, listen, no, she's a third-year player, I think. Very young third-year player. Not really a dominant player in the league. Aaliyah Boston, she's not that dominant. Kelsey Mitchell, that was the closest thing to a veteran. Her in what's her name that just Erica Wheeler, which played 2 minutes a game. But Cece made a point in an interview where she said, "Man, I wish somebody gave me advice. I wish somebody." She almost threw a jab at I wish there was somebody giving me advice. This year, you got Sydney Colson over your shoulder, DB, Natasha Howard, Cunningham, and everyone has developed a whole nother year. And you have Stephanie White, Keith Porter, the rest of the coaching staff. And as far as walking the walk, talking the talk and walking the walk, Caitlin Clark, if I'm being honest, she doesn't talk much. She doesn't talk enough. Respectfully, as much as I love how calm and some of these reporters and these interviews, when Caitlin Clark does her interviews and she's so nice, and I love that. I love how respectful she is. I love how high spoken she is for a very young woman. She speaks very highly, and she knocks out every interview. I don't know if you ever watched her interviews. I have plenty on CEO Kana. Go check him out. She nails her interviews. Nails them. Right? So, as much as nice as she is with so many situations and everything that happened with the bumping and the flagrants and the no calls and the Kennedy card and all these multiple different things, she still got up there and was very, very nice. Just imagine if Caitlin Clark and she does. I've seen moments where Caitlin Clark got that dog in her. Don't get it. But when it comes to interviews, I wish Caitlin Clark would talk that talk just a little bit. Just a little bit. Pop your shit just a little bit, CC. Pop your shit just a little bit, Caitlin Clark. Because she can. Because she does back it up on the court. Maya Moore. That's the only thing that I was like, the talkie thing and the walkie thing. She broke 63 records, rookie of the year. Led the league in assists, top 7 in scoring. She led guards in rebounding. What else? What else? I mean, just multiple different things. We can talk for an hour about Caitlin Clark. So the walkie thing, I find that a little disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie. I find it a little bit. I'm not feeling that, because to me, I feel like Caitlin Clark doesn't talk much, but she definitely does that walking. She definitely does that walking, because you guys bump around. She definitely gets up and keeps going. She definitely gets up and doesn't really do much. She walks away for the most part, but there are times where she gets in her face, like the Seattle game, the game where she's fighting with Connecticut. Hey, get off me. The DB situation, DeWanna Bonner in the playoffs. You'll see it. You'll see the heat. You'll see the passion out of her. So sometimes, like I said, I just wish she'd pop it just a little bit. Just a little bit, because I feel like there's a lot of disrespect. But at the same time, I can respect her for being polite and letting her fan base and things like that support her and handle those situations. You know what I'm saying? She got a real community. Caitlin Clark has a whole army behind her. You got to understand that. So Caitlin Clark doesn't really need to say much because her army got her. But sometimes I just want you to let it be known, CC. That's it. So besides that, let me let's recap over it, and then I'll get you guys out of here.
Already on her way, but continuing to have fun, continuing to anticipate how people are going to try to stop her, and being prepared as she can be for next season.
One of our analysts, Andrea Carter, says when she watches Juju Watkins,
we're not here for that. Let me hear.
She sees.
Yeah, no.
your game in Juju. When you watch,
That's another thing. So, look, man, let me just show you guys the comment section right here. They're already talking about, you know, Juju and Paige, SB speech means a lot to her and all this stuff. And guys, don't let everything get to your head that you see on social media in the comment section about other players and things like that. These other players are very good. We all know they're not Caitlin Clark, but you can't be mad at a WNBA ex-pro Hall of Famer. Congratulations, by the way, who gives support to other women. You can't be. I've seen her support Caitlin Clark multiple times. Now, you know, it's time for analysts to speak on other women as well. The WNBA needs it, man. Everybody needs fans. We're not going to get to see Caitlin Clark in the WNBA because I don't know how they're going to keep up with the pay. So eventually, these girls got to get fans somehow. So the more publicity for all these other girls, Paige and Juju and all of them, the better. Because we need fans in the WNBA. We need growth, more growth, because Caitlin Clark can't do it by herself. We need literally 40 Caitlin Clarks to save this league. Imagine that. Imagine that. Realistically, that's what we would need. If no BS. So that's all I got to say. You know, I'm going to get you guys out of here. Appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers here. Couldn't do it without you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this segment. Like I said, don't take what she said too harsh. Look at it as in like, okay, you're right. Let Caitlin Clark get all of that. Now the league's in trouble. How about that? I'm out, man.